All right, let's go ahead and get into this. So here, while it's loading, pull up my pen. Let's skipping ahead here. Who's Boom?
They were also a ringer.
Oh, you guys are playing two ringers?
Yeah, Jorge was sick.
Oh, okay. Well, that was really weird. I don't know why, but for some reason I thought you guys had 3 DPS. And I was like really confused, like what the fuck is going on? But okay, no, we're good. I totally don't know why, but yeah, no, it's all good. We're good. We're good. All right. So this first map here, obviously, this is a double sniper comp, right?
Yep.
So you guys probably don't want to be going into drum here,
Okay.
because going into drum is a very close quarters area, and the whole thing about double sniper is that you want to set up angles.
Yeah.
But you guys aren't able to do that, like in the space here. So instead, I would honestly recommend just straight up going main,
Okay.
and then you send like the quad four, which would be like these three and the him. Actually,
Okay.
fuck it, we'll send Hog there too, just to start, and then put your Widow like over here on like an off angle, because then she can play here, or if she wants to be more aggressive during some fights, she can go up there. But really, it's going to be between these two spots. And that way you guys get cross singles on point because these guys are eventually going to have to drop. And meanwhile, Widow can be putting pressure on, through this super long sideline. The Hanzo can put cross singles in here. They're running a Ren Zarya Hanzo Kree, so the Widow is going to be pretty open to take shots all day
Yeah.
long. Um, so I would definitely recommend doing that instead of trying to push your way through here because you guys don't really have a comp that works with that because this comp is going to lose to Brawl, right? Like this comp wants to play at a distance. And you guys want to like the one of the ways of looking at it is like Sig's attack range is like the minimum distance that you want between them, right? So if
Right.
if he's here and that's his attack range, that's about what Hog's hook range is.
Yeah.
And that's the space that you want between your team and their team. So the second you walk closer than this, you're now putting everybody at danger, right? Because you want to
Yeah.
be further than this because you have a very long range comp, right? Because Zen can be way back here and throwing damage in. But if you guys are pushing into this space, you don't have the healing to really support that, especially against Brawl.
Okay.
So that's just like a quick side thing. Is you guys want to kind of spread out, fan out, take the field because like shit like that. That's exactly what I was just talking about, right? Like putting the main four here and spamming, and then have your Widow over here, and this is exactly why because this is what happens. Because you're playing at that distance,
Right.
and they can't trade that. Um, and you see how you guys as tanks are also doing pretty good. Like keeping that distance. Like the second they push up, and I didn't mean to go back that far. But if we watch your tank line, right, you can see that they push up and you guys drop back,
Yeah.
right, and then they drop back and then you take that space. That's kind of how you guys do it, and you,
Right.
you play for picks, right? That's what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Now your Zen got picked, which was unlucky. We probably should have just had a barrier up. Yeah, you had barrier. Yeah, so I'd probably like put your barrier up like back here, and or like put it up like right about. I'll just draw it out. Put your barrier up here, and then you can play like here, and your hog can kind of play in the window. So that way you guys are barely just past it, because you can always take your barrier back and throw it back up if needed. But that way other people can spam behind it for free, and you still have tank buddies in front of it.
Okay.
Now obviously if they're just shooting straight out of your barrier, then don't let it break and take
Right.
it down. But tell your team, hey, dropping shields so they can kind of sight back, shit like that. It could have also just been a lucky headshot, but just some things to think about. But yeah, definitely double sniper. It's all about cross angles. One of the things you should never see is you should never see your two snipers playing the same angle.
Right.
And this is about as close as it can come with it still calling it double sniper because it's barely an off angle,
Yeah.
but it's still an off angle. But like if you were to rotate here now, they're both playing this LOS. That's not good. Or if Widow rotates here, so this is a little close, but it's still considered off angling, right? But I wouldn't go any much closer than that. So yeah, all about off angling. You want to kind of play in open areas because that's where snipers are strongest. You guys did win that fight over in this area. Oops. But you really shouldn't have because they should have just sped onto you guys the second they saw what
Yeah.
you had. But you won it, so no, I can't say that much about it. No, right now you guys are playing this very well. Although I would swap the Hanzo and the Widow because Hanzo's playing long and Widow's playing short when really Widow should be
should be
playing
the other
long and
way.
Hanzo on short.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the further distance you have with Hanzo, the less reliable he is.
Yeah.
And the further distance you have on Widow, the safer she is, right? Because especially now, because she has less health.
Yeah.
So she even though they knocked off her damage, so she can't like two-shot tanks anymore, but she can still definitely be a threat. So yeah. It's like this is better, right? Widow doesn't have a great LOS over here, but the idea of Widow's kind of on long and Hanzo's on short,
Yep.
this is much better. Although Widow this isn't a great spot for her, I would still kind of keep her over here. Is black gonna be easy? Yeah, I would still keep her kind of over here because she can watch this angle. She can still watch the stair area, and she can watch main, and then putting like Hanzo over here because
Okay.
then he has this long LOS and he has this LOS. But as you see, both of these lines are shorter than what Widow has.
Right.
And you still get crossfire on main, and you also get crossfire. If your Hanzo's here, even though this is a long piece here, Hanzo's able to rotate kind of up to drum, and then play that, and then Widow is able to rotate back to your main, and then she's able to play there. And then obviously, if they're pushing this way, then Hanzo can rotate again to drum, and then Widow can swing out either which way,
Right.
and then she's playing long, and he's just kind of playing in center. But yeah, that way you guys have your snipers able to peel for each other. Your team is always playing in your sniper vision, and anywhere the enemies come from, you already have cross angles set up. Like right here, you can see your snipers are playing the same angle.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to avoid. Because Widow is also really restricting her sightlines here. You see, like she doesn't have that much LOS.
Right.
I'm not even worried about like her hitting shots. It's just that if you can count on one hand the amount of times she saw the enemy.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, double sniper. It's not that hard. It's a huge just like positioning thing and kind of playing slow and patient. Because you guys play for picks, so shit like that. That's like good, and then that's also really good. Like that's a good split. They're using beat. And kind of like what okay, this is actually exactly what I'm talking about, right? So if you go to your Widow, right, this is, I would probably put her a little bit further up at this point now because you guys are up picked, so she can kind of rotate to here. It opens up her angle a little more, right? Or she could also rotate out to here, which opens up her angle a little bit more.
Right.
Only because now that you guys have picks, right? But yeah, the idea of there's her here and then Hanzo here, and you can see the same enemies on both of them from two very different angles, and this is exactly what we need to be seeing on double sniper. And the Zen here, I think that's fine. I personally like to see the Zen play more with like one of the tanks, because he doesn't have the mobility like Widow or Hanzo does. So I normally like to see him kind of by the Sig because Sig is able to peel for him really well.
I should probably be playing by him in that case then.
Well, I would honestly just take where the Zen is and just move him up to this pillar instead.
Okay.
Because he's a little bit closer. Because Zen is the same boat as Hanzo, right? The further you are, the harder it is to be reliable with your damage. So put him a little bit closer. If he's right here, he has pillar, and you're right next to him. So if anybody goes on him, you have shields, you have suck, you have rock, right? And then he can always walk like this to sight people. And he's still playing within his sniper's LOS. He's just a little far back right now, as well.
Okay.
But that's like a really, really minor thing. But outside of that, yeah, the positioning in this fight is much, much better. And you can see that. And see, like, this is exactly what I was talking about Widow kind of making this higher up rotation.
Yep.
Because she can start the fight here, and Hanzo can start the fight, like, here. Because that way, again, you're getting these same kind of cross angles. But then the second you guys identify where they're coming from, that's when this rotation here needs to happen. That's when Widow can rotate to, like, back here.
Right.
Widow. And then obviously, if you guys are getting pushed because they're using ults, then Hanzo can fall back, Widow can fall back, shit like that. But then, yeah, it's a very kitey comp. So you literally you just play for picks and you kind of play off your DPS doing work. But like shit like that Genji pulled Blade and had nobody to go to because your team plays so split because that's how it's supposed to be played.
Yeah.
Let's watch this from his point of view because I think it'll be fun to watch him just get totally fucking dunked on. Right. Let's set this to normal speed. Right. So yeah, he's got a touch, right? And so he's going for it, right? But like, there's Hanzo here, but that's it, right? Like, there's nobody else he can really go to. He doesn't even see anybody else.
Doesn't have the range for Zen.
exactly, and he's already used both dashes,
Right.
and then he just gets dunked on because the second he lands, you can see he had the Zen Discord. He
Discord,
was
yeah.
obviously he was on Hanzo. Hanzo was also damage boosted, and you're right here. Like he lands in the middle of a fucking like a spider's nest, really.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and same thing with Ryan. Ryan died before he could even touch the ground because you guys have those like cross angles set in.
Right.
And so like that how you played it at the end, that's how you should be playing the entire round through.
Okay.
'Cause you play spread out, play patiently, play for picks, shit like that, and that's it.
You can skip like a good 2 or 3 minutes here.
All right, I'll just hop up to here. Okay. Oh, that's almost perfect.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've been watching this VOD a little bit.
Right on. All right, so let's see here. You guys are running Hurricane. They're still. Oh, they're running like a spam comp now. Okay.
It looks like they're running
Um.
like a weird brawl spam hybrid.
Yeah, that is what it looks like, and that's gonna be a really weird comp to run here. I don't like their comp. If this was me and I just saw this against this, I would put my money on Team One
Yeah.
because they look like they know what they're doing. Because like okay, you can run spam brawl, but only on certain maps, and control maps normally isn't it because the maps are
Right.
so open. But like Kings Row Second Point, for example, it's such a linear map that you can totally do that.
Yeah.
Um,
Or like
but
Zhang Control Center.
yeah, that's like another one. So a few things just to before we get into this, so you can be watching for this. Um, the groups in Hurricane, the Brig Zen play together. Soldier plays with them.
Yeah.
Then there's the Diva, who is also normally going to be playing with them, but Diva kind of floats around. She doesn't play nearly as hard to them as those three. That's like a solid 3 unit. Those three go everywhere together.
Yeah.
Um, and so that's how it is. So like if you see the blue group, right? The blue group would be here or over here or whatever, but it's always going to be those three. You might see Diva here, and then maybe when they rotate to main, she might come like down over here, and then they're rotating here, she might come over to here, but she kind of floats around, right?
I was kind of just
So
playing as like
mhm,
if forewarn called they were slamming,
mhm.
then I would
Yeah,
try to get on that target. If
yeah,
boom, the tracer called someone was low, I would try to play with them.
mhm,
Otherwise, I was just staying with that like uh counter dive kind of style.
yeah, yeah. So normally the Diva's actually played as a Sig. The only time
Right.
you see Diva over Sig is if there's a lot of high ground that needs to contest, but there's
Okay.
not that much on this map because the stairs are right here, and there's 3 different ways of getting up, which is there, there, and
Right.
there.
Right.
Plus they have a Lucio and a Hanzo and a Nash, so they can get up from anywhere. But
Yeah.
so actually, what's more important here is because they're running this double sniper, and because high ground isn't nearly as important on this map, it's actually better to have a Sig than a Diva,
Okay.
because in that case, if you do have a Sig, then it would be the Sig, Soldier, Brig, Zen, all 4 of those together, because that way the because that's like the core 3, because Zen and Soldier have a lot of the spam damage, and so having that shield is going to be very very nice, especially against like an Ash Hanzo,
That makes
because
sense.
not having any barriers is gonna suck ass. And actually, I don't know if you were watching my. We had a diva here instead of a sig, and that's why we lost because they put their ash on this high ground here, and
Oh.
and the core 3, meaning me as soldier or brigand or zen, we're here because this is where we want to be playing because we have point control. We can spam choke from right here. This is the ideal spot is right along this strip here.
Yeah.
But we had a diva, and so we had
Makes sense.
nothing to deal with their ash. If we had a sig to put right here, we could spam that ash out every single
Yeah.
time. But we didn't, so we got forced out or died. Um, and so yeah. And on top of that, our diva also wasn't pressuring the ash, which was really annoying. But whatever. But yeah, and so you have the core 3 or 4, depending. If it's a diva, she's gonna float around a little bit more, but then you're gonna have the soldier, the brig, and the zen together. Then you have these other 2, which is the tracer and the ball. These 2 are gonna kind of play together, but also separate. So they're going
Yeah.
to coordinate their attacks, but from different angles. So
Right.
ball
Right.
from
Right.
one way, tracer from one way, the core three from the other way, and then if you have a floater, the floater is going to be kind of floating around. So if you guys were doing this, you might have the solid three in main. Your ball might roll up from that area, and then put your tracer say down here, and then you could have your diva float on this high ground here, or put your diva right here, for example, because that way she can DM the tracer, she can DM this core group of three, and when ball's rolling through, she can DM them. Same kind of idea from being on that high ground area. So Diva kind of floats around between the groups because that way, if you need to follow up on kills, you're there. If you need to peel back, you're there.
Okay.
But a Sig would just play back here and then have that shield instead. But so
One thing I
that's
wanted
kind
to
of what you look
ask
for.
is at the
Hmm.
start of this round, I said to, uh, I called us to path to Mega on left side, which is where we are
Hmm.
now. Do you think
Yeah,
that was the right call?
yeah.
Okay.
Because if they just walk to point like they're doing, you still have 21 seconds before the point
Right.
even opens, which is way more than enough time. Because they're running like you said, it's a spam brawl hybrid. Well, brawl relies on cooldowns, and that's their tank line. Um, and they don't have any CC aside from sleep. They don't
Right.
have any CC. So Tracer is going to be free to whittle down resources, and spam against Tracer isn't going to work because Tracer's too mobile.
Right.
Same thing with Ball. Ball is way too mobile for spam. Like you might get him to half health and he's just going to roll away, and then get health and then come back. So they're walking a point. You guys have 21 seconds to spam them out, get rid of their resources, and then just fucking kill them. Especially since they're literally all together coming this way, right? You guys
Yeah.
path to Mega, your ball's free to come this way, your tracer's free to wrap all the way around, or vice versa. Your core of three can literally just walk like this and take this high ground here, and this is where they want to be. Because ball tracer can contest the point.
Hmm.
And then if you have a diva, then diva can walk this way and just come down here. Because now you have your diva down here, you have your spam group here, you have your tracer or ball, and then whichever one isn't there would be over here,
Right.
and then you guys just collapse on them on point. And if you're wondering, um, I would hope you know this. If you don't, that's totally fine. You can stand
Yeah,
on
you
this
can
little
jump on
plant.
like a little pot.
Yeah,
Yeah, with
yeah,
the
and then you get
glass.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same on the other side.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I was
it's
just thinking that like when we called for Brawl, or rather
Mhm,
when we scouted that they had like a Brawl kind of core,
mhm.
I decided that we should take the engagement then and there because like you keep saying that like spam beats Brawl during rotation, right? So
Yes.
Brawl will beat spam just because, you know, the
Hmm.
proximity. So I was
Yeah.
saying like while they're in rotation, we need to get them because before they like if they were on point, it'd be much harder to deal with.
Agreed. Agreed.
So
And I do agree with you, and I think that is a really good idea. The only reason I would disagree with that is because of how far you guys are.
yeah,
That's it. But outside
yeah,
of that, if you guys were right here, then yes, this you would slam into them because exactly that. Yeah, they're weak in rotation and they don't have time to set up. And so if you guys are playing like right around here and you can go into them, then yes, this would be the place to take that. So absolutely, you are right. The only reason I say otherwise is just because of how far you are. That's it.
okay. Yeah, it was one of
And
those things
yeah,
where I was watching the VOD back and I was like, I don't
mhm,
know if this was the right call. And like it ends up working in our favor,
mhm.
but I think it was kind of a mix of them having poor
Them
target
kind of fucking
focus
up,
and
which is
their
fair.
composition.
Mhm. Yeah, no, they have a really weird comp. I don't like it, but yeah, no, I see where you're going with this, and I do 100% agree. Aside from that one exception that I
Right.
told you about, which is
Which is kind of
it.
why I'm wondering if like we should have just gone main at the start, but not knowing when
No,
they were
no,
gonna
no, no,
play,
no,
I
no.
think it was safer.
Taking mega is always good here because you still have so much time before point starts, and it allows you to kind of wrap around. Because ultimately, everybody's going to end up here.
Right.
But you guys want to be able to kind of pinch in on them, right? That's
Yeah.
the whole idea of this comp. It's kind of like like a pincer attack, right? So you
Yeah.
send your strong group on one side, and you pinch from the two corners. But you can't get somebody back here without going like down this way, and so that's why like Mega is like this is such a really strong way of coming out. So yeah, no, like coming through Mega is definitely like a good call.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but so here you can kind of see. You guys are trying, but your core three is split from each other, right?
Right.
Like putting your brig, your Zen, and your soldier up here, because brig is really a bodyguard for Zen, right?
Yeah.
Because she's not gonna be like she's gonna be throwing her shifts out in packs, but she's not really gonna be flailing all that often. She's really here
Oh.
for protection. Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea what I was doing. I was feeding my brains out.
Yeah,
No, it's all
that
good. Yeah.
3 minutes that I told you to skip
Mhm.
was forewarn telling Kame how to play break in this comp.
No,
And
no,
in
it's all good. Yeah,
general, I think.
yeah, yeah. No, no worries. Yeah. So the Zen brig, a brig is literally just Zen's bodyguard.
Oh,
You're here to throw packs onto the ball and the tracer because those are going to be the guys who are kind of coming in and out. And so Zen is going to obviously be trying to top them up, but you're the one who's really going to be healing them.
huh.
So yeah,
Okay.
you're going to be the one who's like packing people, but you're not going to have that much inspire because you don't have anybody to like really take shots for you, right? And so the enemy team can literally just walk onto you and you're just going to die because you don't have anyone to peel for you.
True.
Um, like that Ryan could have just kept pushing and then killed you, but he decided not to. But that's
True.
also why it's important to have the Brig and Zen and Soldier up here because then your Soldier might not have died as well. I think he might have gotten logged by the Hanzo. I forget, but I saw him die.
Lucio killed him.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, he probably could have lived. Um, but yeah. Also, yeah, by you guys being on high ground, the Zen part because Ryan can't fly, not yet at least. And so if a Zen is on high ground right here shooting at the Ryan, he can't do anything
Right.
about it.
True.
Now your ball and tracer are doing good by stalling this point out, but they already have point control, so I would reset right now.
Our ball was calling that it was winnable.
And I mean it might be, but I would have personally just called for a reset. Oh, but you guys might win this. Okay, fair enough. And I mean, that's just that's like an opinion thing, right? Because
Yeah.
if you guys if you think it's winnable and you play like it's winnable, then
Then it might be. Yeah.
yeah, no, exactly. And so and that's why you have the right? Because my team, we probably just would have called a reset.
Yeah.
But neither one is more right or wrong. It's just a matter of how you guys play it.
Right.
Now, granted, if they have all 6 on point and it's just ball and tracer and they call winnable, I'd be like, maybe not. But it all depends on kind of how things go. But like, see this right here. This is where Hurricane is strong because you have your ball diva splitting the rest of the team. Now, what you really need is to have your core 3 or 4. I would put the diva like on the high ground here because that way she can do both.
I have Jester
Plus,
mech. Yeah.
oh, okay. Well, plus diva also never wants to be playing the same plane as a
Right.
Zarya because then Zarya just eats you out. So I'd probably put the diva on some type of high ground anywhere. But having your ball tracer in the back is what you want to see, and then you have your core 3 of your Zen, Soldier, and Brig here, because then they're just spamming down main, right? Because they also have some cover. Because there's this Hanzo here. They have some cover, so they can play that cover. I would first start with the Hanzo because he's past the tank line. He's
Yeah.
kind of feeding. He should die. Easy Zen Discord, Soldier Rockets. That guy's dead, right? And then the second these tanks turn around to deal with your ball tracer, now Ryan has his back exposed to you, so you Discord and blow him up too. Right, but you guys are kind of split. You see,
Right.
you have your soldier over here. You have your in between. So it's much harder for you guys to sync up your fire. I would definitely recommend playing closer together. And also, you kind of use rally like a stabilizing factor. So if the fight's going on for too long, because you guys have right, you only have Zen. You have Zen, Brig, and Soldier. If Soldier has no field and Brig has no packs, and you guys the fight's still going, then you can use rally to stabilize. But
I see.
yeah.
And
But
I
that's
didn't know the
what.
rally range.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Is it the
Fair
same as
enough.
Lucio?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty. It's if you
Kinda
treat it like
like
Lucio, you'll be okay.
Okay.
That's a big visor. High ground is strong, especially against the brawl comp. Watch this. He's just gonna visor from high ground, and they can't do anything about it. Look, they can't do anything about it. they just like Ryan is holding his shield up, but he's able to see the people past the shield. That's why I always tell people how strong high ground is, and then they never really get it. But then you use it and you go, "Oh, this is really good." I remember I was coaching somebody a long ass time ago. He was like a flat player or whatever, and he refused to use high ground because he claimed that he couldn't aim as well on high ground.
It's easier to aim from high ground.
It's
Interesting.
easier to aim on high ground,
Yeah.
and it's easier to hit headshots because if you're above somebody, you're staring at their head and then
Yeah.
their body.
Yeah.
You know, if you're equal with them, then you have to aim up for the head. If you're below them, then it's even harder to hit the head because you're seeing the rest of the body first. But if you're above them, I'm staring straight down at this Ryan. There's no way I'm gonna miss his head. And he's like, "Yeah, but I just don't aim as well when I'm on high ground." It's like, well, just practice it. Like,
Well, I think staring straight down is very hard. I think when you move left, it's an arc.
Yeah, no, if you were straight down, that'd be a little different. But like something like this, this is so easy just to like track.
Yeah. True.
Like watch my tracking skills. You ready? Never mind. I was gonna do the thing where you can like click on somebody and then it like auto tracks them. I was gonna be like, yeah, see how good I am. Never mind, it's not working right now. I don't know why.
I could see the argument for Hanzo. He is.
Well, actually, so that's just it. Is Hanzo's arrows only arc downwards? It's not like they start by going up, right? So actually, with Hanzo, if you're on high ground, you don't have to worry about the arc. You can literally just aim straight. And this is coming from a Hanzo player. Even this is my ult
Thanks for the
account.
tip.
Yeah, this is my ult account, and I've got 30 hours on Hanzo. My main account has like 100 hours on him, and my second highest is like Ana with like 40 hours. Oh no, Zen! Oh, poor soldier. He could have lived.
I stole a what is it called? A fight plan right out of a skirt from you guys in the meta review video. After you guys went to Oasis, you had a fight plan to slam main and then use a pulse bomb, and I stole that one and we used it and it worked. Got two.
Yeah, it's good, and there's nothing wrong with taking those plans because you can see that they can work. And yeah, that was like the double pulse, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean,
I
shit
stole that
works.
straight from your video.
Yeah, no, I mean, whatever fucking, if it works, right?
Right. Yeah, I think like this VOD was interesting because it was our first time playing like the Hurricanes comp, and I don't think we actually like played it, but we were on the heroes for it, and so now I'm starting to get a feel for how it
Yeah,
should
and I
function,
mean,
work.
honestly, like that's the first step is just being on the heroes, and then that way I can look at the bot and be like, oh, move this person here, have this person play like that, right? So what I should see, the core 3 or 4, I would definitely do Sig here because yeah, right. But so put those guys right here.
Yeah, at the
and
start
then
here, I was calling to get those 4 on bridge and then have Tracer and Ball go right side, but we were really split, so I don't know what happened there. But
yeah, I don't know either. But
I
yeah,
think like
no,
having Soldier on this bridge, if they push main, would have been an easy win.
yeah, no,
And
I
kind of
agree,
made it
and
harder for us.
And I mean, we'll play this out, but that's just something that I would like to start out with. I think having the ball trace over here is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as they don't die here, they're fine. Yeah, so your ball tracer diva, you guys are doing fine. Zenna's starting to regroup with soldier, sort of, kind of. And target focus is obviously going to be very important on this comp. And right here, if they start pushing bridge, this is when you guys just make that rotation around, right? So if they're coming at you like this and you guys are up on bridge, you just walk down and around like that.
Okay.
It's just a rotation thing right here. Especially soldier, right? There's a reason they call him legs because of that right there. Just like that. You see?
The fact that he lived is amazing.
All right. That's because he's got the legs, dude. That's why you run the boots in the legs and you can't. Boots being Bap.
Yeah.
You get the boots, you get the legs. Actually, one of my old teammates, his name was like his in-game name was Legs, but he was an off-tank player.
He was ahead of the times.
Right. Don't worry, his alt account was Pants.
Oh, I think I know them.
Maybe. He was like a 4.2 OT.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I have so many people talking to me right now. Sorry, I've got 8 messages waiting on the side right now. So something I would recommend is, I don't know if you ate that or no, you didn't. Okay, that's fine. You tried, but I wouldn't recommend pushing this angle with your guys' comp.
Okay.
Because they're running this brawl type of thing with fucking their DPS make no sense to me. The Kree makes sense. I don't get the Genji. I don't know what's going on there, but you guys aren't going to really be able to push through here, right? They've got the Rein Zarya holding the door, and you guys don't have any real pushing power. You have a
Yeah.
hog now over the ball, but even then,
This fight was
like,
weird because they like touched our spawn doors, and then the Zarya was super low and discorded, so we went to chase, and then she just 180 grabbed us, and then they just stabilized and then pushed and cleaned up. And then
yeah, I
it was
would.
just a really weird fight, and I guess we kind of got baited in some sense.
That's fair. Yeah, I would not go top right with this comp. I would definitely go like bottom left. Go at left, take bridge, because you guys want to spam. You want to play
Right.
long. The soldier has the right idea. Let's watch him. Let's see how much. See, like this is why, right? Because this is just soldier, right? But imagine if it was like him with a bunch of other people.
Right.
How much value this would get. Dodge soldier. Okay, I gotta go watch others. See what's going on over here. But actually, I'm pretty sure it was actually the soldier who got you guys through this choke point, just to show how easy that is.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the enemies also kind of just back
Kinda
up and
backed
let you
up.
in. Yeah, they kind of back up and let you in. But, just short. You know what you could do with the Diva Bomb? I don't know too much about Diva Bombs. I'm pretty sure if you walk like this and throw it this way, as it goes like this, it hits the wall and then drops like right here.
Yeah. It would have been nice.
Uh,
I kind of just wanted to like give us the high ground though, so I don't
That's
know.
fair.
I was kind of happy with it, but
Fair
if it
enough.
had gone like a little further, like 5 meters,
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
we would
it
have
was
gotten 1 or
unfortunate that
2.
it stopped like right there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, unlucky. That's not good. You better eat that. Yeah. Damn. All right. Let's go. Good visor too. Yeah, dude, visor on high ground. It's just so strong. Even if he only got 1 kill with it, you can see how much of zoning he. Right. Like the second he pops it,
Right.
like everybody has to fucking like interact with it. Right.
Yeah.
Like that's good. Yeah. Like right here. Like. Right. There's Anna. Right, he dies, he's 1, and then these two have to like kind of just survive on point. But that's still really good value. Because even though he only got 1 direct kill with it, it led to 3.
Right.
And so yeah, just high ground visor is so strong. The only thing that makes it stronger is calling those targets so they get discorded and die even faster. And the easiest way to get those discords on is by putting Zen right here.
Soldier. Yeah.
Exactly, and then Brig with both of them.
Interesting.
Especially right now because they have like a Genji and they have a Kree, right? So like
Yeah.
if Kree goes for them, then the Brig can shield those little 3 while they just fucking ass blast them. And if Genji dashes on them, then they get fucking Brig bashed and flailed and soldier rockets and discorded, and he cries himself to sleep. But again, you guys are kind of like you're holding this door area, but you guys kind of want to be spamming from a distance, right? Like you just let them in and then spam them out.
Okay.
Is what I would recommend. Because your soldier took up here, right? But like after the fight, you guys should be looking to reset where he is, right? So that way, if the Zen Brig soldier is here, Zen can just be throwing 5 balls in all day long. Brig can be sitting like right here by the Mega, kind of like watching this left flank. So that way, if she calls that they're coming left side, then these 3 run around to here, and then they take up this spot. And then if they come this door, then they just come back around to over here. So if these guys are playing here, right, then you can put your ball like up in this window area, right? Put your tracer like over here somewhere. All right, so you put her there, put her there. Ooh, God, like that's a T. Put her there, all right? Like here, tracer here, ball up
Okay.
in that window. Because that way, if they are coming out right, then ball can literally slam for free out the window. Tracer blinks in with the helix rockets. Yeah,
Hmm.
like you let them out of the choke, but then the second they walk into your ass's trap, right, they're getting right because they get to like this point right here, and Zen is throwing 5 balls in here, so the Rhine is here, right, because they're walking down to point, so they're getting 5 balls into the back line, then ball can literally roll off and slam, and Tracer can come up and around and come right here. Um, so that's like a really easy way of kind of setting that up.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Brigzen is an incredibly strong backline. Like, you fucking can't kill them. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to kill a Brigzen soldier in the backline, but it's impossible. They get a surprising amount of healing between the Zen orb and then like soldier field, and then that's when Brig gets her rally and
300
fire
health
and her
and
fucking
armor.
y-
Yeah.
exactly, dude. Like, she's so like that backline is ridiculous. You can't kill it. But it's only that strong if you put all three together.
Right.
And I would say take a look at your first point for a good example of double sniper at the end. You guys played that really well. And second point, minor changes of positioning for the Hurricane, but that was played much better. Here, it felt like you guys were trying to run the Hurricane like a brawl comp, and that's what really kind of got you.
Okay. Yeah, I think we
Ah,
really just need to force the like counter dive potential for it. With keeping the three
Mhm.
as the core stacked, and then yeah.
Yeah. Let me take a look at this real fast because they're running a dive comp, but we're running um Hurricane here. So you can see we're also coming out on Mega side, right? But here you can also see this is kind of what I was talking about, but in reverse with that
Right.
saying like one person comes from here, one person comes from here. So we have our tracer that's over here, and we have our ball coming from here.
Right.
But you can kind of see that taking place. And they're running dive, so it's a little bit different, right? But then now look, we're looking to collapse on these guys because our ball knocked them into us. But they're running dive, so he just dives out. And I don't even remember how this map goes. But you can kind of see like our ball and tracer play together, and here's the core four that are together. You see?
Yeah.
So you can also kind of like see that happening. And here you see, I was struggling to take that high ground, but you can kind of see like here's the high ground part taking place, and I kind of got stuck here, and so I went down because of the tracer. But that's a different thing. I got stuck or some shit. I don't remember what happened, but I ended up going back up later. I'm pretty sure. But like, yeah, if the brig and myself were up here, our Zen wouldn't have died here. But I fucked up, and our brig
sure.
fucked up. But if it wasn't for that, then we would have been fine. And so that was our fuck up. I'm just gonna see what happens in this game, like kind of what comps we run, because we run Hurricane here. Because if we run something similar, then I could honestly just send you that for you to look at. Because it's obviously it's not
Yeah.
perfect play. Because as you see, like even we make mistakes, but it's still just a reference to kind of take a look at.
Yeah, I'd appreciate more codes because all I've seen of it is the one you sent of Blizzard World. Then there was the one of God, what was it?
Mhm.
Oasis.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
then obviously in
that was like an
your
accidental one too of
well, no, you
Oasis.
sent me the replay code and the one in the
Oh yeah, that's
activity.
right. That's right.
But and obviously I saw the ones that were on Elo Hell's Twitch.
Oh yeah. But here you can see again there's the four, and Skrit's playing with us right now. I have no doubt that he's gonna split from us, but you can see the core four playing up here, and then Tempt is the tracer. He's obviously off taking up his side angles like he should be. Yeah, that guy he bladed on me, but I used visor to trade it. So it was fine.
It looks like Skirt was playing with you guys just because they were going to dive that for. They're not going to dive a tracer, obviously.
Yeah. Honestly, that I know that we called that they had blade, so that also probably was why they're playing with
That makes
us.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and so that makes sense. Here, do we still run Hurricane or do we run Double Sniper? Okay, we run like a double sniper, but we do Soldier. Oh no, we are doing Hurricane. Okay. And then what do we do? Third. Here it's just like straight Hurricane. Oh, that's
Hey,
right. Yeah. This is like the newer meta that you guys haven't quite seen yet.
oh
And if you
yeah,
check this out, this is fun.
yeah, the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, this is the double shield meta that you guys
Okay. Yeah, you showed
but
this on Volskaya.
yeah. Yeah, and so that's what we run here. I think we roll them here, do we? Or do we lose this? No, I think we might actually lose. Oh. Okay. No, we do win this then. That's a zoning ult right there. Don't mind that.
Big?
Big zoning ult. But yeah, I can send you this code. So we run like I mean it's similar to your guys, and so you can kind of take a look at it. Let me grab this code for you. I'll send it to both of y'all's.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. And with that, I got a dip because I've got my own bot review to go to.
All right,
but
thanks for doing this. And
yeah,
once I
absolutely.
recorded it, I'm gonna share it with the team. So
Right on.
hopefully we'll improve on the Hurricanes comp.
Yeah, and if you have any other questions, anything, like I said, by all means,
Yeah, I definitely will be hitting you up.
Right on.
And I told you earlier, but Clone Man's gonna be hopping into our scrim tomorrow, so
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
probably won't hear from us for a week unless I just have like various questions. But
Okay, and that's totally fine. And even if like he brings something up and you were wondering
okay.
like a further explanation, or like, all right, well he talked about this and we were in this situation and